Can you hear me? Okay, you should be able to hear me now. This is Dr. Smith from Accomplished Health and Wellness here in Lawrence. And sorry, yesterday there was like a notification that I was streaming live, but I didn't stream live. And that's because I was trying to figure all this stuff out. So this has been my goal this week, is to figure out the camera and to figure out the microphone. And it's taken me a couple of days and some troubleshooting. And I finally figured it out. So this is going to be my first live stream on YouTube. We'll just see how it goes. So anyways, today I was going to talk about Young Living, which is an essential oil company. And I know, right? Like, I'm a doctor and I'm talking about Young Living essential oil. So why? I decided to start learning about oils. I think it was like last year or maybe a year and a half ago. And the reason is that there's so many people out there using them, and I felt compelled to understand them, especially since my patients were using them. And I wanted to make sure, they were safe and that they were doing what they were supposed to be doing. And there was a bang outside. I hope they're okay. I think somebody dropped something. Anyways, so I wanted to make sure they were safe. And I wanted to make sure, that because everything that you take has the potential to interact with other things that you're taking. So taking prescribed medications, supplements, and anything like over the counter can interact. And there's just not a lot of data out there, right? So I just kind of tried to start learning. So whenever you start learning about oils, guess what happens? Everybody under the sun comes out to try to encourage you to come over to their oil side, right? There's lots of companies out there. There's lots of places that you can get oils, such as just at the grocery store, right? You can get them there, and you can get doTERRA, you can get Young Living. I bet there's a couple other companies. Anyways, I chose Young Living, and there's a few reasons why, which I'll tell you about today. So So the one thing I like about, there's a couple things I like about Young Living. One of my really good friends who does integrative medicine, she uses them in her practice, and she's also an osteopath. And I actually, when I first started thinking about this, it was because I was thinking about using them while doing adjustments. Just something that would maybe soften the muscles so I could have easier adjustments, or something that would make the adjustment maybe last longer, or something I can just help to be an adjunct to the adjustment. And so I contacted my friend Julia, and I was like, I know you use these, and I just want to, pick your brain. And so she kind of got me turned on to Young Living. And the cool thing about Young Living is that Young Living, they have farms all over the world. And they have actually been one of the leaders in the industry for creating standards, because they've been in the game so long. And so, and they have pretty high standards where it comes to their farms and where they're sourcing their oils from. And they call them partners. They're like partner farms. And they make them follow all these strict regulations. They find out what are the regulations in that area, and they really try to work to meet those regulations as well. And they do a good job of that. They also will audit their farms, which I absolutely love. And that's just because that keeps the farmer honest, right? Like if somebody could randomly show up and make sure that your farm is doing what it's supposed to be doing, then you're going to do it all the time, right? So I love that they have companies that audit their farms. They will audit their farms. I like also they have all these scientists, and some of them are physicians. A lot of them are research scientists, but then they also have a bunch of vets. Not a bunch, but they have a handful of vets. And that's something that I've seen on quite a few blogs is, are they safe for pets? Or, because with our diffusing, it goes into the air, and right, our pets will breathe it in, and is that safe? I like that they actually have vets on their panel, their research panel, and they're vets that actually use these with animals, right? So I think that's pretty cool. The other thing is that I like about them is you can visit their farms. I think that's cool. It's kind of like when you get stuff from other farms, like if you're getting produce or meat or something like that, you always want to go visit the farm and see how do they treat their animals, how do they manage their crops, how do they manage their weeds, how do they do all this stuff. And so why wouldn't you want to do that with your oils, right? So I like that you can at any point go and visit these farms. They also have all these standards that their oils must meet. So if they audit a farm and it's not following the regulations that they have set, then they actually won't accept that crop. If something like if the farmer tests the crop and it's not making the oil to the standard that it's supposed to be, they won't accept that. And then so say they do accept the crop, and then later on they find that it's not quite pure, there's some impurity in it, they actually will dispose of that entire batch. And they have a bunch of different points where they test their product to make sure that it's pure and that they can stand behind what they're saying, which is that they're going to give you the most pure product, which I think is cool. And then they have a lot, like I said, a lot of scientists that are researching this, and a lot of stuff goes into their the background production of their products, so that they can put things together and make sure that they're going to mesh well, make sure that their oils are pure, make sure that they're following environmental guidelines. And the big thing that was important for me was that they really think that it's important, to be one with the environment, which I think is so important. I'm like, if anyone knows me, I'm like a major recycle freak. And I'm like, did you just throw that in my trash can? Because it can be recycled. My parents are good now. They're like, where's the recycle bin? Anyways, so that's about all that I was going to talk about today, was some oils. Or Young Living and just their background, why I chose them. So anyways, the next, this is going to be a new series for me. And because I have kind of gotten into some oils, and I'll just tell you that story. So I got sick with a cold. We all get colds, right? And your doctor is not at all immune to colds. We get them, especially when our kids drink out of our drink and cough in our face all night, right? They're there because they want to snuggle, and then they cough in your face, right up your nose. Yeah, cold. Anyways, so I get a cold. My friend Julia's like, she had sent me some samples. You really need to take the Thieves. And I was like, it's not going to work. It's not. And I had also had Melaleuca from a different company. And a different friend had given it to me. And they were like, it works for your sore throat. And so I put the Melaleuca on my throat, like just rubbed it on my neck, not my throat, my neck, on the skin. And I was like, there is no way this is going to work, but I'll try. 5 minutes later, my throat wasn't hurting anymore, and I was like, whatever. Coincidence. I'm very skeptical. So, what'd I do? I did it again the next day because I woke up, you got that postnasal drip and your saltwater gargling, and that's gross, but you have to do it. And so I was like, I'm going to put this on too. 5 minutes later, my throat didn't hurt. I'm like, no way. Now I put that stuff everywhere. It's like on my sinuses, on my throat, on my neck. So on my face. It's not my sinuses, people. It's over my face. Right there. I'll put it up here too. And then I put it on my throat, on my neck for my throat. And it works. I don't know how. I haven't gotten that far. But by the time I talk about Melaleuca for real, I'll let you know. So then the thieves. Oh man, the thieves. So I put that in my drink, and she's like, put it in your drink with some lemon oil, and you'll be feeling better. And of course I had somebody do an adjustment on me too, so I already know how years experience how that works, but so I did. And do you know everyone else that had this cold that wasn't turning the corner until day 7? Day 3, I turned the corner. And I was like, this is not going to work every time. This is just this cold. And I've gotten like 3 colds since, and every single time. Day 3, I'm getting better. So now I'm like, okay, the Melaleuca worked, the thieves worked. Oh yeah, the other one, lavender and frankincense. So my kids get into chiggers, right? And those little nasty bugs, they bite you in nasty places. Like, why do bugs bite you there? That's gross, right? Anyways, and then my one daughter, she got into oak mites. They got all in her hair. She had like, I don't know, 40 bites in her hair. It was crazy insane. She's all up all night scratching her head. And no, it wasn't lice. It was oak mites from the trees. So she's scratchy all night long. She couldn't sleep. They're like scratching. She's scratching her head. Her brother's scratching his groin. She had some chiggers in her groin too. So she's like, it's terrible. And who's awake? Me. So anyways, I was like, you know what? I'm going to mix this frankincense and lavender, because the lavender, I want them to sleep well, and I've heard that frankincense has some anti-inflammatory properties. So I just was like, I'm going to try it. Guess what? They slept. No scratchy, and they were sleeping. And then, guess what happened? My daughter started just asking for that over the other stuff that I was putting on them, because that worked better. So there is something happening there, right? So now I was like compelled to really try this stuff. So now I'm learning. And what I'm going to do is long haul. I'm going to do a couple of these. They're only going to be like 10 minutes long. And I'm just going to talk about different oils, right? And then you can learn some. What I'll do, if you feel compelled to actually try some because you want to use it for whatever I'm talking about, then I'm going to put the link to my site so that you can order from me if you want to in the comment or in the description. That's what my daughter said I'm supposed to say. Put it in the description, Mom. So I'm going to put the link in the description so that you can order under me. I do make a little bit from this if you do order from me, just so that you know. I'm being upfront. And if you have questions, please don't hesitate to ask. If I don't know the answer, I will look it up and figure it out. And I'll ask my friends that have been doing this a lot longer than me. So, if you found this helpful, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I talk about all kinds of stuff on here. You'll see I have some osteopathic techniques you can do at home. I have some nutrition stuff. I have a little bit of health stuff, which I'll get more into. And so you can get all kinds of stuff. So you don't want to miss that, right? So you need to like and subscribe. And then you'll get all of them emailed to you. So anyways, hope that you guys found this helpful. And I will do another one next week. And if you subscribe, it'll be emailed to you. Otherwise, you'll just have to check back. So I hope that you guys have a great